Hello out there. Just gonna do a quick video on the Alberta Clipper on steroids that's going to be impacting the upper Midwest and northern Plains states later today into tonight and tomorrow. And I just wanted to go through a quick slideshow. Not really a slide, just a few slides from one of my college professors, Dr. Kevin Law at Marshall University, where he talks about these Alberta Clippers and how they can produce blizzards in the northern plains and the upper Midwest. And he's a really good guy, really like him. Basically, they form after cold air is already in place. So if you look at this figure B, you'll notice that you have a low pressure center to the north and east, a warm front, and a cold front, meaning that cold air has already been transported to the area that's going to be impacted. And so you have a high here, and we do have a high to our south. So the cold air is already there. Although there is a caveat to that, and I'll get to that in a little while. A northwest-southeast jet stream that is there. There is a dip in the jet stream that will help the clipper form in its left exit region. Remember, the left exit region of a jet stream is the of a jet streak is the upper right region. That's where it's going to form. Now, clippers generally produce light snow, 2 to 5 inches. They generally produce a dry snow, and they produce a lot of blowing snow. And that's why they're notorious for producing blizzards in the northern plains and the upper Midwest. It's not always a dry snow, and this one might not particularly be a dry snow because the energy for this particular clipper is actually coming from the Pacific Ocean, which doesn't normally happen. Normally it comes from Canada and it's a dry snow. This one has a lot more moisture with it. So basically what happens is you have a strong cyclone here in the northern USA. You have Arctic air behind it. You have cold Arctic air behind it, denoted by this area of high pressure. You get a strong temperature gradient between them, strong pressure gradient, and that tight pressure gradient creates strong, intense, gusty winds on the northern and northwestern side of the low pressure, and that's what creates the blizzard, where where snow is falling, and where you're getting gusty winds, and the snow could be falling heavily, maybe not heavily, depending on the situation. You could also get ground blizzards even when it's not snowing. When it's blowing snow in general, can develop with clear skies after the storm passes, dry and loose snow, low temperatures. All of those things are possible. All right, and now I need you to bear with me because my computer has been a pain in the butt with this. Okay. So Ontario is the Canadian province that I am interested in. But I am looking for pivotal weather. I'm on the model that I want. And this is the map that I want. Okay, so here we go. Kind of just see to your northwest here, coming into British Columbia over here is the uh, vorticity or spin in the atmosphere that we see that's going to actually create our Clipper system over the southern area of Alberta. You know, blue is probably not a good color to use there. And then it's gonna, so again, you see how the energy for the system is coming from the Pacific Ocean, so it's going to be stronger and it's going to have more moisture associated with it. Okay, and now I just kind of want you to see how this plays out. I want you to watch this piece of energy move to the east and the southeast. And watch how it strengthens. See, the trough is getting deeper. You see that? You see how the dip in the trough is getting deeper as it goes to the east-southeast? This is by this evening. And then the low closes off by late tonight, early Friday morning, when it is over Wisconsin and eastern Minnesota, going and shifting into Michigan by Friday, the low has closed off. It has significantly strengthened. We have a closed upper level low, and it continues to stay closed off, but it does seem to be weakening now, so it does eventually weaken by the time it gets to New England. But for the time that it's in the northern plains and upper Midwest, it is a pretty intense area of low pressure, upper level low. And so now if we look at the surface map, we'll do that now just to get that out of the way. You see, here's our surface low. That's the Clipper right here, and then you see this precipitation forming to the north of it. We're already at 993 millibars, and you could see 987, 986. So it's strengthening. It doesn't strengthen all too much, but it strengthens enough that it will produce heavy snow. And then it kind of weakens, you know, it occludes. I'll show you how it occludes, but then it weakens as it goes into New England and into Canada, out to sea. Now I want to show the jet stream, because what do we have here? Well, we have the left exit region of a jet streak. And that's where our Clipper formed. And I said that was where our Clipper, that's typically where our Clippers form, is the left exit region of the jet streak. And the jet stream is indeed northwest to southeast. I believe that's what it said, not northeast to southwest. Let me check that. Let me check that. Northwest to southeast. I was correct. Okay. So, and now I've shown how that evolves. So we see that the jet streak kind of follows our Clipper system as it moves through. So now our Clipper system should be somewhere right around here. This is later on Friday. Should be somewhere in this region here. Over New England, over the Adirondacks maybe. I don't remember exactly from the surface map. But that was the main reason I wanted to show that. And then the other thing I wanted to show was this frontogenesis that's going to be triggered. So there's going to be a difference between this clipper system and other clipper systems that we've dealt with in the past, and that's the fact that this clipper system comes in with not just a cold front but a warm front. So it's going to be able to generate tight temperature gradients out ahead of it, like you see here. And that temperature gradient, these tight temperature gradients are going to create intense areas of frontogenesis, and this is going to lead to intense rising motion and intense snow in the upper Midwest and the northern plains. So you see all of this frontogenesis here is associated with probably the warmer side, even though it's not really. So annoying. I want to show you this. Oh wait, no, not on here. Hold on. Upper air height. Freaking God. This is what I want to show you. Okay. So here is our clipper system, and it actually has a bit of a warm front. Now, keep in mind that it's going to mainly have cold air, because it's bringing in cold air behind it. But because it came from the Pacific Ocean, and because you have high pressure down here as well, there is a bit of a warm front associated with this clipper, and the temperature gradient is quite steep. So anywhere to the east and to the north of this is going to get heavy snow. So places like northern Michigan, the Michigan Peninsula, northeastern Wisconsin, and northern Minnesota, areas like these, and maybe even parts of the eastern Dakotas, are going to get pretty heavy snow, because there's going to be frontogenesis with the system, especially as it occludes. You can see that the flow is coming from the west. Damn it, why don't I do this again? The flow is coming from the west-southwest, so it's going right into that cold air, so you're going to get heavy snow as a result. So I wanted to show that. And I just wanted to make sure I got my timing right. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go to the forecast, because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay. So this is what we're going to go with. I apologize for that noise. My computer wants me to reset my password for something. It's just really annoying. So I don't know the cities that well in the upper Midwest and northern plains, but so I'm gonna go by state just to make it easier. But I'm going with and there's a lot of model disparity as to how heavy the snow is going to get. But to me, I consider this a clipper on steroids because most clippers don't start in the Pacific, most start in Canada. So this is a clipper system on steroids. But this is basically a blizzard. Consider this a blizzard. Consider it a dangerous blizzard in a way. It's a dangerous blizzard because some areas are going to experience winds of up to 50 to 55 miles per hour. Gusty winds to 50 to 55 miles per hour. In addition to heavy snow. So anywhere from southern Ontario in Canada to northern Michigan, the mainland, to the Michigan Peninsula, to northern Wisconsin, to eastern Minnesota, and to the Adirondacks in northwestern New York. I'm going to go with 6 to 10 inches in general, and there could absolutely be more than that. I would especially put a foot or more over northern Wisconsin and the Michigan Peninsula, over those two areas. Maybe the western part of the Michigan mainland as well. I would definitely say if you're going to get a foot or more, it's going to be in one of those two places. One of those few places. But it's going to be a general 6 to 10, I think. And then it's going to be a very steep cutoff as well. West of there in Minnesota, we're going to go 3 to 6. Eastern North Dakota, we're going to go with 3 to 6 as well. And then I think that's southern Manitoba and Canada. That is 3 to 6 as well. And then western New York State is generally 3 to 6. And then everybody else is less than 3. So I know that wasn't too specific. I apologize. I'm tired. It's very early in the morning. So I'm going to cut the video here. Thank you for watching. I hope that this turns out to be okay.